Hello Flosstube, this is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner, and I am here on, I don't know what date, the 21st of August, and I've got my mom with me. So we have a ton of things to show you. We're going to do a Know Your Needleworker tag, which Mom did not know in advance, but now she knows. And yeah, so Georgie and Gracie had haircuts today at the groomers, little puppy cuts, and I've got my treats up here, so they're quite anxious. But we've also got my sister's 2 dogs here, and they're too big to lift up, but the house has been wild with dogs, and now we've got treats. So George, so they'll leave us alone. Here you go, bud. And Gracie and Namora and Nash, who probably shouldn't have gotten the biggest one, but just did. Okay, so this is my mom. She lives in Singapore, and she came and was staying with my sister, but my sister's husband just got back from deployment, so now she's up here visiting me for a couple weeks. So my mom is will you tell them what crafts you do?
What crafts I do? I knit and I sew, and I have just finished making my first miniature quilt. So
yeah,
I started sewing when I was in junior high, making the required A-line skirts, and then so I sew from patterns. I don't make up patterns.
Like clothes. But
clothes.
Also you sew other things. But like one time she made me a Pride and Prejudice style dress, and she made my youngest sister a matching one when Alex was like 4 or 5. And so my mom did a lot of garment sewing, and so
my most famous one was I had to make a dress for a magical concert, so it had to be
medieval
a medieval dress, and I didn't have any fabric. We were living in Africa at the time, and I didn't have fabric for it, so I made it out of our living room curtains.
Kind of like Scarlett O'Hara without,
yeah,
the South and racism.
Yeah, but it turned out cool, and all my girls have worn it and loved it.
I didn't get to wear it.
You didn't get to wear it, yes.
But it was gorgeous because it was this like gold and burgundy, like,
yeah,
it was gold gorgeous
undershirt. And
if I have a picture, I will insert one, but I will have to dig deep to find one. But it was really beautiful, and everyone loved it. But okay, so I pulled up the Know Your Needleworker tag, and it's been a while since I've done this, so we'll just both answer the questions. Okay, where do you live?
Where do I live? Singapore.
Yeah. And I live in, Mom, you're shaking the table.
Sorry.
She's bouncing her foot. And I live in the Sacramento area of California, and you are from, though?
I'm from Fresno.
Yeah. And I was born in South Africa, so kind of international. What do you do for a living?
I work for the Church of the Nazarene as an international church worker.
I am currently unemployed because I decided it would be a good idea to change my line of work 2 weeks before California locked itself down because of COVID, so
timing wasn't great.
Timing was not great. Can't even collect any unemployed benefits because I wasn't fired, I just quit. So
bad timing.
Whatever. It is what it is. Do you have any other hobbies other than cross stitch or the ones you mentioned previously?
I like to take long walks, and I love to read. I can read all day. I love to read.
Yeah, she likes to read Pride and Prejudice fan fiction.
Oh wait, you weren't supposed to tell that.
That's not
one.
published?
Nobody knows that.
What other hobbies do I have? Well, I mean, you guys know my crafting hobbies. I do like to play some computer games, but I don't like the war shooting type games. I like city builders or things like that. And I do love to read as well. We all love to read in our family.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like walks. No, that's not one of them. It's not a hobby of mine.
I do like that. And I'm a homeschool teacher.
For my youngest sister.
Yeah, and I was a teacher.
Do you have any kids?
You.
And?
3 others. I have 4 daughters, and I have 3 son-in-laws. So my oldest 3 are all married.
Yeah.
And I have a grandson. Does that count?
She has a grandson, so
Hayden.
Clearly we know one sister's the favorite.
Yeah.
I've got 2 fur babies that you guys met already and know all about. So.
Yeah, I have lots of fur grandbabies.
Oh, do you have any pets? That's the next question.
Now I do. Actually, that belongs to my youngest daughter, but she lives with us, so that counts. He's a rescue dog. We got him just after the shelter in place was was finished in Singapore. He is a Shih Tzu and 7 years old, and we have named him Horchata after the famous Mexican rice drink.
Because he's got the kind of coloring of
the white and brown, the white and tan. So.
And that dog loves my sister.
Yes, he does.
They've only had him for like 2 months, but he's in love with her.
Very much so.
And then I've got Gracie and Georgie, my Maltiploos.
And right now I'm taking care of Nashville and Namor.
And we do not really know what they are.
No.
Nash, we have a little bit more of a clue, but they were rescue dogs too. My sister rescued them.
And then there is a German Shepherd that is my fur baby too.
Oh yeah,
Jack in Germany.
Yeah.
So lots of fur babies.
We all, well, I mean, Joe already had hers, but the other 3 of us all got our dogs within the space of a year of each other. So I think that's kind of interesting. What's your favorite movie?
The A&E version of Pride and Prejudice.
The only version of Pride and Prejudice. Because that Keira Knightley abomination will not be accepted in this house. No. Sorry for any fans of that, but you're wrong. So, I mean, there's that. But that's probably what I would say, too. I mean, we grew up on it. My sisters and I grew up on it. You obviously didn't, but...
No, I grew up on Sound of Music.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, I'd say that's my favorite. What are your favorite TV shows?
TV shows. I like any kind of cooking competitions that aren't too, like, fierce. And
so not Hell's Kitchen.
No, not that one. But like, my favorite one is MasterChef Junior because they're really nice to each other, and those kids are adorable. So I like watching things like that.
And she used to be a teacher of elementary age students, so
yeah,
I
like that age group.
Yeah, she likes that age group. I would probably say Mom and I are binge watching right now Chuck. From NBC, and that's since it was released. It's always been one of my favorite TV shows. So that's probably my favorite. When I want a good laugh and want to go really far down the conspiracy hole, Ancient Aliens. It's better with my sister, Jo, because we just laugh at it so much. But you know you've been watching too many episodes when you really start to find yourself wondering, could that be real? And then you're like, I should stop this marathon. So, yeah, I would say that. What is your favorite music genre?
Oh, I like lots of things. I like country music, mainly from the early 2000s. I like show tunes. I like listening to modern renditions of old hymns. I let my other daughters pick out popular songs that I like. So there are a lot of popular artists I like, but I always forget their names. But if I think on it, I might think of some. But
I would say country is definitely my favorite genre. I do probably, of the country genre, the late 90s, early 2000s is probably my favorite. But I don't mind the pop country that's currently present. I do not like from the 80s backward. I do not like the super Western country. I don't like that. I like pop country. So,
and I love Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond. I've been to 3 of his concerts, and I love Neil Diamond. So, yeah. Oh, and Billy Joel. I love Billy Joel, too.
Billy Joel.
Yeah.
I like classic rock a lot. I like Queen and some of those classic rocks, as long as it's not heavy metal.
Yeah, mine's limited to Billy Joel and Neil Diamond.
You like classic pop.
Like what I like. So, yeah, I would say that's definitely... What's your favorite book? Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice.
I will say Brandon Sanderson, basically anything.
I do like Brandon
The
Sanderson.
Stormlight Archive, which you haven't read yet. You told me you haven't read it yet.
No.
Is my favorite.
I like Alcatraz.
I also love the Percy Jackson series from Rick Riordan, the Harry Potter series, of course, by J.K. Rowling, and then the Hunger Games series. Those are my top
I do like
books.
Hunger Games.
But if I could only take one to a deserted island, it would probably be the Brandon Sanderson books, in part because it will take me like a month for each book, because they're like 1,000 pages.
I don't think that counts as bringing one to a desert island.
Okay, whatever, if it's an omnibus, which doesn't exist, but...
Exactly.
So, yeah, that is the Know Your Needleworker tag. Oh, wait, one more. Sorry, I missed this one. What one word describes you best?
Mom. Mama.
Or these days, Oma?
Oma. My grandson, my last name is Louw, so I'm Oma Louw. And my grandson, in one of the last things, said, "Oh, you gotta send this picture to Oma Love." And I like that, Oma Love.
He's cute.
He's very cute.
I would say the word that probably describes him best is crazy. Just a little bit of crazy.
I'll go with that.
So that's the Know Your Needleworker tag. Now you know Mom and maybe me better. But yeah, so we have some of basically everything. We've got some sewing. We've got Mom's only really got sewing, right?
Yeah, I've only
Yeah.
got sewing.
And then I've got a couple of finishes on cross stitch, you guys, and sewing and knitting and crochet. So, do you want to start, or should I start, or what do you want to do?
Sure, show.
Okay, I'll start with the cross stitch, and then anyone who doesn't want cross stitch, you can check out. So, I'll start with my finishes. The first one I finished was, I finally finished the Schoolhouse from the Hometown Holiday series. So that's what it looks like.
No more.
And this was the other one that I finished a while ago. So now I can be able to cut this and frame them both. Not frame them. I put magnets on the back of sticky board. So I'm excited to have those done. And then the biggest finish of all, you guys, I finally finished the dogs.
Yay! We were gonna have a party,
We were gonna have a party.
but nothing's open.
So, yeah. So here they are. That's the German Shepherd and Labrador for my aunt in South Africa. And, I definitely need more colorful pieces for my future projects, but I am so
Serengeti.
glad to have this done. And Mom is going to take it because they'll probably go to South Africa before me. My dad is South African, so his whole side of the family's over there, so they go more often than I get to go. So Mom will take it over there for her, because I was only supposed to give it like 3 years ago. It's a little late, but better late than never. So I've shown it to her, she loves it, and I am glad to have it off of my frame. And then the only other cross stitch that I have to show is I have been
Something
working...
more colorful.
Yes. I have been working on Serengeti because this is for my mom and dad. And so while my mom's here, I thought I would work on it. The light's blowing it out.
Just when I'm here.
Yes, I will, but you're here, so... I'm almost done with these 4 corners, and then I will have finished part 1. So I think I could finish this either tonight, possibly tomorrow. And then...
While watching Chuck.
While watching Chuck. We were up till like 6 a.m. watching Chuck. It was bad. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Amazon Prime. Definitely recommend it, but ignore the last season. We pretend it doesn't exist, so. So that's my cross stitch. You don't have cross stitch.
No, I don't.
I will show my knitting next, because then it will lead into the sewing. Well, I'll just show this one little crochet. I put some more stitches on my on the Afghan I'm making for my husband's youngest granddaughter. So I did another round. So a while to go on that still. And then I have another finish in knitting. I finished my Slytherin stripy socks. So I did a vanilla sock with an afterthought heel. That means you knit like a tube and then you have to cut in and make a heel. So that was my first time doing that. It was a little scary, but it went well and I'm excited. I did lose my tension on one of these socks, and so the leg is pretty loose. But you know, for my first pair of completed socks, I am happy with them. And then I cast on socks for my dad, and I decided to try 2 at a time. So I am doing contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs. And so this is what it looks like. I'm about 15 rows into the leg. And so my mom is gonna have socks that are with this as the main color and the other one as the contrasting, so that they'll be kind of matching my dad's but reversed, and then hers will have a pattern.
Cute.
Yeah, and then they get to be cute, like that, like a cute couple. These are from Dietastic. The grayer one is called the Iron Throne. It's a Game of Thrones color, and the other one is called Anyone Can Be Killed. And last time I checked, these are not still in stock and being dyed by the dyer. So I checked about a month ago. So that is for my dad's. I did have a very small cast on because we weren't sure about that color for my mom, so she picked another yarn. She wanted like blues, but darker blues. And this one has an orange in it, so I cast on a cuff so we could see it more. And in the end, we decided to just do matching with my dad, or the reverse. So I'm leaving this on as a cuff. Am I leaving this on as a cuff? Because I can't make these for myself because I cast on for you. I don't know yet if I'm going to rip this out or continue it and then maybe gift it. I'll decide that later. However, this is where we get to sewing. I made my first knitting bag. I'm so excited. Mom helped me because I'd never done a zipper before, so I was so nervous about it. And I made a box. I mean, it's obviously not perfect. There are still some adjustments and stuff to do, but I am so excited about this. I learned so many things. Like, I learned how to top stitch, and I learned how to do that zigzag off the end thing like that, which I can now do to cross stitch fabric. So this was a big learning project, and I am so happy with how it turned out. We do know that now we need to use a wider cut of fabric because it's not as wide as my other project bags that I've got off Etsy. So definitely want to make it wider for the future, but I am just so happy with how it turned out, and it was a really fun project to do with my mom, and I'm really happy with it. So now why don't you show your sewing stuff?
Okay, well, I have a couple things. First off, on a previous Flosstube from probably a year ago or more, I showed my
Well, I think it was when I was still living in my apartment,
so over a year.
Yeah.
So I have been in the process of making a blue and white hexagon quilt for about 2 years now. Something
Longer
like
than
that.
that.
I have finally finished. I have 3 here.
Well, not finished sewing them all together.
I have finished sewing the flowers together, Now I need to sew them all together to make the top. But it's all going to be blue and white, and there's some sentimental value too.
They all like match up together like this.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. So maybe in another 2, 3, 4 years, I might have a quilt for my bed. But this is something that I take with me everywhere I go. I put it in little pouches, and I can then just tuck it into my purse. And when I'm ready, I just pull out my hexagon. I have my needles in a little Altoids tin. I have my thread and other things there. And then I just get out wherever I am. I can be on the train in Singapore. I could be on the airplane. I could be visiting a friend. Wherever I happen to be, and I can just start sewing on my Hexie, and all my friends are well acquainted with my hexagon flowers. This is the very last one I'm making. I was going through Kate's stash that she has of fabric, and I found this blue and white Harry Potter
Hedwig.
Yeah. So this represents part of my children's childhood, because they all read the books and watched the movies and know which house they belong to, and etc. So that was the last piece the last flower I am making for my quilt.
She has raided everyone's stash.
I've been given stash from other people. I have cut up my children's clothes. I have done all kinds of things to get blue and white pieces. Most of them have some significance to me. And there will be one quilt, or at least one quilt piece.
Flower.
Or one quilt flower, yeah. For every one of my family members that are close to me.
This was supposed to be started as a project my mom and I were doing together, but
She does too many other projects.
she also got obsessed.
I got obsessed, yes, but I am more single-minded than she is. I do not
true.
have a million whips all over the place. I do one thing
Under
at a time.
200,
mostly.
thank you very much.
So that is my to-go project.
The other reason why it's probably going to take longer to sew those all together is because she can take little flowers with her, but you can't take a whole quilt top with you.
So, yeah.
And they travel a lot, so.
Yeah, so that'll be more of a stay-at-home project, put on a movie, listen to an Audible or something like that. Okay, and then sewing. That leads into my finished project. This is Kate's. I found at the store, in the clearance section, this Grinch, and all my kids love How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So I let each one of them decide what they wanted made out of this Grinch. And what Kate told me she wanted was a lap quilt. And so I made her a hexagon flower, a giant hexagon flower quilt.
And she backstitched the Grinch himself.
So
And
yeah,
you
on
can
the
see him
back,
on the back.
there's the
There you
Grinch.
go. See, you can see the outline there. And then she also did some hand quilting on the top, which I think is really nice.
Okay, this I got online. It is from, the pattern comes from the Red-Handed Scissors, and it's by Haley Pearson Cox.
She sent me the link, so I'll link it down below.
Okay, and so, yes,
I don't think when we said lap quilt, we actually thought she would go for a hexagon, but she did, which is so perfect.
When I found it, I knew it was the one I had to make. And the reason I was raiding her closet was I needed a backing for it. It's kind of hard sometimes to get Christmas fabric in Singapore. So, check that out if you're interested in making that. The other project I've been working on since COVID was keeping my family in masks. So I've been making masks. Again, from raiding her closet, Slytherin. This is Kate's mask that I made for her. Some red, white, and blue.
It's my husband's.
And then Kate and I have matching masks.
Aren't these cute?
I just lost the bead. Anyway, so I have made many masks, tried various patterns. This pattern that I got from the Orange Dot Quilting Company.
We'll also link that down below.
Yeah, it is by, I can't see the name on this. Anyway, we'll put the link on for her. Sorry, I had it, but I can't see it now. What I discovered about these is that they sit very tightly all around the face. It has a wire built in, but it sits away from the mouth. So it's one of the few masks that I can wear and feel like I can talk and I don't feel claustrophobic in. One thing that I modified.
Dora Carey.
Okay, Dora Carey is the designer for this.
She's an engineer.
Yeah. And though this is a popular style in Asia. One of the things that I have modified for it, she uses quilt batting, and I have used 2 layers of iron-on interfacing instead. And she sews inelastic, but I have discovered in a search for finding an ear tie or whatever when there isn't elastic available, that t-shirt material is softer and more comfortable, and it's very easy to modify. So I just made a simple channel that they can go through. Also, when you're out of supplies, a bobby pin does wonders for going through a casing. So stick it through and put it through a pony bead.
I'll show them right on the bottom. So she stuck it through using
Using
like
that
the bobby pin
bobby
as a
pin.
needle.
Then you stick both of them through the pony bead. And then what it does do, Kate, you want to show on your mask what it does? Is it makes it adjustable.
So you tie an end at a knot at each end of this, and so then once you put it on your ear, you can tighten it up, and then it comes loose. But because of the knots, it's blocked there, so it can't come all the way off. But you just pull separate and tighten.
So yeah, so you just put it on the pony bead with the bobby pin, pull it through, and then you have a much softer ear tab. I have discovered that with this I can wear it all day. If you do decide to go with this pattern, like I said, I modified it by using iron-on, 2 layers of iron-on interfacing. It blocks out more of the small particles. She has a pattern piece that you can make a copy of, and as you see, it has all these darts and things on it. Having gone through when I did it, I marked out everything just exactly as it is on this, marking everything to my fabric. And then as I went through the YouTube video, I discovered that basically all you really need to have is this line right here. This is the top stitch line that gives it the shape. That's all you really need to have. So if you should decide to do this, the nice thing about the pattern though is these corner pieces. Cutting off the corners exactly the way they are on the copy pattern is pretty important to making it all come together on the sides at the end. So making masks for my family has been something I've been doing.
And then another thing we'll link down below, but she got these off Amazon, and if you've seen Wonder Clips, right? In the store, they're pretty expensive. But these are knockoffs that work just the same. You get a ton more, and you get this cute case that they come in.
We got that off of Amazon.
I would almost just buy the case, but yeah. So you get this off Amazon, and it's around $10 right now, and there's a 5% off coupon. Not sponsored, not affiliate link or anything, but I'll link it down below in case you're interested, because I have to place that order. So I'm gonna place my order so you guys don't steal them all, and then I'll link it down below. So.
Okay.
But yeah, Okay, I think that's all of our whips.
Yes.
So the last thing I'm going to share is my birthday present. I don't normally share stash, but my husband gave me a 1, 2, 3 stitch birthday certificate, gift certificate or whatever, and my order just came in today and I'm so excited. And this is a lot of what I'm going to be working on in the coming months and the next year and stuff like that. So I just thought I would share with you guys. So I got the Stitcher's Day of Christmas by Sue Hillis. And I think this is so cute. These are the gifts I would want rather than, 10 Lords of Leaping or whatever. I'd rather have the
Another Chatelaine.
6 Chatelaines. Hello. Especially if they're kitted up. So this is super cute, and you guys should check it out. I was stitching the Main Street, and I was in an auto ship club, but they never sent me the final house, and this ended like 3 years ago or more, and so I finally just bought the final one. I finally got the ABCs of cross stitch. I know a lot of you guys already have this, but I finally got it. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do it 1/1 or 2/2. Because if you do it 2/2, it's going to be like 40 inches long. But 2/2, 1/1 will only be about 2.5 inches wide, which seems really itty bitty. So haven't decided yet, but I am excited for that from Jardin Privé. And yeah, I didn't buy fabric for that, and it uses just DMC, which is really nice. Then I bought the next 4 houses, not houses, but shops for the Hometown Holiday series, since I finished that other one. So over the next year, I would like to do the quilt shop, and this one is the pet shop, and the bookstore, and the needlework shop. And I bought another piece of the Vintage Country Mocha. Each one will fit in 1/4. And I think this time, though, what I'm going to do is stitch all 4 of them before I start cutting them, because it got really hard to get it in the Q-snap or even a hoop, because I had so little border space after I cut them. So I think I'm going to stitch all 4 before I start making them into the decorations for Christmas. I also bought a few of the classic colorworks that I was missing for those ones. They were out of stock of a lot of the colors, so I'm either going to place an order later. I went through and on a post-it note, I posted which one in each pattern I didn't have. This is the one I was actually missing the most on. The other thing I might do is just go through my hand dyes and pick close enough colors. So then I got Kringles, and I love this one. I got the fabric for it. Unfortunately, they were out of stock of most of the colors. How many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were out of stock of 6 colors, including the black and the white, which are the most commonly used ones. But I mean, with COVID, you get what you can when you can. So this one might be my reward start for having finished, the dogs. Then I already had Raven Queen, and I had the bead pack for her, but I finally bought fabric, and I completely stole this from Jessie Murray, because years ago I saw this on one of her videos that she was stitching it on a gothic cashel linen from Picture This Plus, and it's not showing as true to color as it is, but I think she's gonna look gorgeous on this. So I finally bought that, and I bought 2 of the metallics, the Cryonics, and 2 of the Karen water lilies needed. Unfortunately, they were out of 1 of the Karen water lilies, but I have enough to get started if I wanted, and yeah, so I'm super happy with this purchase. You can't even see the purple that's in there, but
It's there.
it's there. And then finally, the final thing I bought was from the Christmas Couriers from Nora Corbett. I bought the sleigh to begin the series, and I got the Cryonics that are called for. This one is the water lily that's in a bunch of the reindeer. It's in all the reindeers, and so I'm not starting the reindeer yet, but I already have it, so I just put it in this bag to keep together. I pulled this fabric from my stash. It's a like an ice blue color, and so there's plenty of this for all of them. So all the reindeer are the same size, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just gonna cut them out and cut out the fabric for the sleigh, and then be able to put the rest of this back in stash. But the other thing I was thinking is that this fabric might work for 2/2 on this, and I think that the colors together could work. So yeah, that is what I got for my birthday, and I'm so excited. I ordered it a month ago, and I was starting to get nervous it hadn't shipped, but it finally came in today, and I'm super excited.
In time for me to see it.
Yep, which we're taking my mom back down to Fresno on Sunday, so that's in 2 days. But we are having a really good time, and she pushed me to finish those dogs and then to work on her chatelaine, so
Yeah, I can put the whip away now.
yeah. After I finish that part, maybe she'll let me start Christmas Kringles.
Serengeti.
So impossible to please. Anyways, so yeah, I'm just really glad to have my mom here and be able to do a video with her, and yeah, it's just been real nice.
It's been good to be here.
Yeah. So that's all for now. I will try to do another video at the end of the month with plans for the next month. After she leaves and takes her whip with her, I will try to work on some of those goals I made for this month. I'd like to finish my dad's socks while you're still in this country.
And mine.
And yours, so you have to tone it down, woman. She wants me to, like, knit in my sleep or something, like...
Whatever it takes.
But anyways, so she's here probably till the beginning of October, so that gives me a month to finish those socks up, and yeah, so I will talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for joining us and for visiting with my mom and the dogs and everything, and you guys are the best. So happy stitching, and talk to you guys later. And if I don't link things, please remind me in the comments below. Bye.
Bye.